You thinking about cutting those? I'm like, why? They're not past the regulated length that I guess what says in the policy. It's not down here. And I know I worked with teenage males at that time. And she was saying, well, maybe something can happen and maybe the boys will try to pull your hair or something. I'm like, well, no, I guess I told her I can wear it up. I can tie it up. I told her I can, do style to make it so it won't get in the way or in my face. She told me to my face, well, I don't want to see it at all. This is a black lady. She said, wasn't the white managers and the white therapist. It was a black lady who said that to me about my locks. And whenever I've worked in my field of treatment, substance abuse, mental health, nobody white has ever had anything negative or questioned me about my hair. But it was just my experience. But I know overall, things do happen. But something else that was said in that article that was different. What's up, Gary? About that whole school thing. Said the brother, when he wrote the article, he talked about the history of hair and how our styles vary from others and how it's cultural. I get all of that. But he also mentioned about how where the lady was coming from, like, I guess stereotypes from the rappers and all of that. And I will say this about that, about when it comes to braids and cornrows and all that, and even locks. Because at that school, afros that are at that private school, Calvary Baptist Church School in Slidell, they have a policy that says no dreads, period. And no afros beyond 3 inches tall. So they're trying to keep it low. And by the way, the kids that attend that school, I think it's got elementary up to 7th, 8th grade or something. And so the kids were multicultural, multiracial. But the staff is all white. And all white, middle-aged white women. Old bitches. At this church school. And I'm going to get back to that in a minute. I want y'all to go and look up the school itself and look up staff. Then look at all the grades. You'll see number of white women. I think in the office they have a older black lady. She's like the teacher's aide. And that's it. They keep mentioning a Reverend John Brown as an interim chaplain or interim pastor. But they never show his picture. I don't know if John Brown is a black dude or a white dude, but they're definitely, all the staff, all the teachers are white women. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. I want to tell y'all something. Up until 2008, I had grown my hair for 10 and a half years. I mean, my locks had gotten down to long. And that's when I moved to Dallas-Fort Worth. And so, but during that time, up until then, locks weren't a big thing. They weren't the big hoo-ha in the black community because it was known as Rastafarians wearing them, and those who consider conscious community blacks were wearing it. None of your celebrities, none of your NBA players, NFL players, none of your rappers, none of those people wearing it. But all of a sudden, like that summer 2008 going into spring 2009, all of a sudden you start seeing NBA players wearing. They were wearing the cornrows because Ivan Allison had cornrows. But you start seeing the drug dealers and the NBA players start wearing locks. And then these damn rappers start wearing locks. And one thing I know from being from Memphis and from wherever you lived in an urban area, you would always hear when the police is chasing someone, young black male with dreads. And I didn't want to be a part of that stereotype. But that wasn't the main reason I cut my hair. It was just, I'd been growing it so long, 10.5 years, and I just wanted to start over something new. But that did cross my mind. I didn't want to be a part of that stereotype because rappers and hood athletes will ruin a lot of things for those of us who don't present those images or project those images. That's just one of the downfalls of trying to wear your hair natural. You always got these mentally unconscious folks trying to wearing the stuff too and make it, just tears down the cultural aspect of it. But here, my thing is about that. You know, I'm not going to make it about a hair thing because I think bigger than that. That hair thing is what women be crying about all the time. You know, and it's funny. A lot of them, when you wear their own hair, hell, about almost close to $1 billion worth of them don't wear their own hair. So for them to fight for a crown act or a hair act, it was just laughable. And so somehow in his article, he wove that into what's going on with that little black boy. Y'all want to hear my issue with all this? And this goes into my title, How Black People Participate in Their Own Racism. It's 2023. Why in the hell are black parents still sticking their children into these all-white institutions? All-white junior high, middle school, high school, elementary school. Why y'all doing that? And also, to these mothers of sons who do this, y'all must be totally ignorant or just retarded or don't give a damn about the mental maturity, the mental development, the self-esteem of your black boys. Why would you send a black boy to a private school with everybody white and they all white women? That lets me know that y'all ain't read nothing by Dr. Amos Wilson, Black Mothers. You ain't read a damn thing by Dr. Naeem Akbar. You ain't read a damn thing by Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. His book is called Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. Who else? Michael Porter wrote the book, Kill Them Before They Grow. See, a lot of these mothers of sons, y'all need to do some reading because y'all be trying to just do all kinds of shit because y'all women. Y'all don't think about protection of your boys when y'all do this kind of stuff. You don't. Now, you done stuck this boy here, and luckily it was just the last 2 days. You want to try something new. You want to take him and braid his hair up. And no, I'm not excusing them for being who they are. Yeah, I don't be tripping about it. I know, we know who they are. Why the hell are you tripping? Does that make sense? Why do we... Hold on, let me go back and say this. If you believe that we live in a racist society, or we live in a racist country, or we're behind enemy lines, why don't we act like it? You know, and then y'all pay for this. These private schools don't come with vouchers hardly, I guess, but y'all pay for these private schools. Moving in your nice little suburb and you put y'all kids in these hellified racial situations. And then when the people act like how they act, like this little white principal came to this boy, all of a sudden you're upset, you want to meet with them, and all they do is ignore you. Like, you read the article, they ain't return no calls. They don't give a damn. So when we gonna stop doing that? That's how a lot of black children are destroyed early. Y'all take y'all black kids under the guise of putting them in good schools. And so for everybody else, anybody want to have this stupid question, so what you want me to do, Rico? Go into one of these hood schools where they get shot or get messed with? No. I'm saying is, when we going to become black in this country? Because after 1965, we just stopped being black. Nothing is black is valuable to us anymore. Because we have plenty of schools where all you blacks with the good jobs, or you work, you toil and tussle to eke out a decent living so you can, you know, live in a nice neighborhood. But why the nice neighborhood means a neighborhood away from you. See, that black boy went to a school not just diverse in the students, but diverse in the teaching. If I had a son, I'd send him to school. I look around, so I need to see the teaching staff. I need there to be a healthy amount of black males at their school, and a couple of female. But I'm gonna want my boy at 12 years old around all white women all day long. But see, we're out of touch with our own experience. We're out of touch. We complain about a lot, but we do a lot of stupid shit as blacks. The kids come on, don't know how to process the racism because you ain't talked about it. Some of you are so suburban. Some of us black folks are so suburban and so filled with Christ that we refuse to teach them about the reality of the world until the world kicks your son or your daughter in the ass, and they learn it by surprise. Now that time they're tortured and they're hurt. We need to stop that. Let me give y'all an example that also made me really sick. It happened in Dallas, Fort Worth 2 summers ago. The story is still there. All you gotta do is Google it. This plain old black mama, Plano, Texas, plain old black mother. Her son was about in the 7th or 8th grade too. She moved to Plano. I guess she moved from the hood of Dallas, Oak Cliff or Pleasant Grove. And she must have got a raise on her job and moved to Plano. She stuck her boy in this majority white school in Plano. And then he had to suffer. He was suffering being called racial names or racial slurs all that school semester. Then some of the same boys asked his mama if he can come over and do a sleepover at their house. And I'll be damned. She said yes. And I'll be damned. How come the next day on social media, he's saying drinking pee. Then woke the boy up to pranking him, waking him out of his sleep, and him here, drink this. You can see in the video, he's kind of bruised and sleepy. Them three or four white boys, his age, surrounding him, watching him drink pee, and they laugh. And so then she finds out about it, gets all upset, want the world to stop. I want them to be punished that they did to my son. Why are so many of us so racially tone deaf to the point that our children have to be subjected to this shit? Now, I don't know if these other people are single mothers, but I know the woman in Plano, a single mama raising a black boy, and that rarely goes well. A lot of us survived it. But a lot of these little boys today with these big mamas, put them in these damn, I guess y'all call the good schools, they're killing them. A lot of y'all put y'all black daughters in there, she can't, don't even get me started how screwed up they become mentally. But I'm talking about the protection of black boys. Because see, the reason I think a lot of us don't protect black boys because we don't respect black men. If you respected black men, you protect black boys so they can grow up into the men that the women are complaining. They won't grow up to be the men that the women are complaining about. You have to protect them when they're little. You have to empower them so they can grow up to be hunter-gatherers, protectors, providers. But y'all put them in these dangerous situations as helpless 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. Some of them teenagers don't know what to do. There's a video of this white teacher just flat out is on Instagram like, "Well, I know," but he said, you're not leaving class, nigger. Or, I come back in here, nigger, just said it flat out. And the boy like, ooh. What kind of stupid fucking response was that? He's a tall, skinny boy. He's probably a teenager. I said, they don't even know how to handle racism. Because y'all sending these kids. So, Rico, what's the solution? Become black again, black folks. We had our own stuff. And if we like that education, your question should be, like it always is, well, how come we don't have that type of quality education in the neighborhoods where I'm from, where I live? It's not difficult. Number one, the system does make sure that white demands are met, because we live on a white system. But locally, black folks, you can demand that your school board, your city council who handles all the money, and your mayor do something different for your school. So we want the same school that they have in Plano. We want the same school, quality of school and education they have in Oakland, that they have in Plano, Frisco, Grapevine, South Dallas. Y'all can demand the same thing, but your politicians ain't worth the shit. So therefore, you're lazy. In these black neighborhoods, the politicians ain't shit. Your so-called religious leadership ain't shit. Because the black ghetto doesn't have to be like that. If you're not getting any satisfaction out here in the world, why don't you create your own? Why does that offend us so much? Getting and creating your own. And I'm not speaking of an impossibility, because I know we can do it. Because we got billions of dollars that we spend to keep everybody else up. We spend billions on everybody else to make sure that neighborhoods, that school, they come from our tax dollars. But we can't seem to make these same tax dollars work for us, work for black children. Black boys don't need to be nowhere with a bunch of goddamn white women at 12 years old. At the beginning of puberty and adolescence, they need to be around black men, heterosexual masculine men, or at least a few black women who appreciates them being black boys. They need to be around men, especially if you're a single mother. Y'all need to demand it. But we just sitting around here waiting. Who y'all waiting on to fix this? Jesus? That's just a saying. Fix it, Jesus. That's just a saying. But you have to get off your ass and fix it, black America. You do. All this money they sending away to other countries and other organizations, other groups, that's your tax dollars too. You can demand it. And you can also demand your little lazy ass city council person, and your little dumb ass school board member, and your little slow ass or probably racist or just lazy ass mayor to do some work. That's how you get that neighborhood that you risk your child's life and your life to go live in and work in, and him to get educated in. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry that little brother, little Dalton or Dalen, little brother, I'm sorry you went through that, man. I'm sorry that you went through that. You know, and unfortunately, a lot of more black children are going to go through, a lot of more black boys are going to go through that stereotype, pulled to the side, like he needs to answer for everybody, every black male in America at fucking 12 years old. The nerve of that bitch. The nerve. You know, I don't appreciate none of that. Yes, I'm going to get on us, but I'm going to stay on these punk-ass racist white folks. Don't make any sense. How dare you? Again, it must not be a father in this situation. Because there'd have been some, my God. The news have been down there pulling me off this bitch. You ain't going to disrespect my son. I mean, it's been with all of the psychological, everything been going on. I've been on the news cussing folks out. You ain't going to disrespect my son. Or my daughter, but just what happened. There's my boy. Just what happened. And you're going to put him out. I got another school for him to go to. But we're thinking we're doing a good deal. I send him to these private church schools. Y'all know religion is the most racist institution in this goddamn country. Calvary Baptist Church School. Ain't that a bitch? In Slidell, Louisiana. Those of you in Louisiana y'all probably know the history of Slidell. But anyway, I just wanted to share that as I walk. I'm about to go over to this water and just kind of gaze at the beauty of it all. But we're going to have to do better. We want high-functioning public education of high-functioning private schools. We have to invest in it. We'll pay money to send our children to hell for 6 hours a day and get them deprogrammed out of blackness all day instead of going in and getting our own church. We got plenty of black churches, and getting a private school for kindergarten to 8th grade. And make sure there's some men involved. Because I wouldn't send my child to no school there no men involved. I would hardly trust the liberal white men because I have them be fruity. You know. But anyway. We're going to learn. Because racism, white supremacy is what it is. It's how we behave under it that makes the difference. A lot of us still behaving like a bunch of fraidy cats, for lack of better words. Like we're scared to question. We're scared to be opposite of it. We're afraid to not be a part of it. It's amazing. It's just strictly amazing how we are functioning under what we believe is racism, white supremacy. We're not behaving very well. We're not behaving appropriately. And let me share another video with y'all, so maybe y'all can become empowered, or be given more of a filler of what I'm talking about, more an explanation of what I'm talking about. The brother made the video some time ago, but it's still very relevant. Dr. Claude Anderson had a video. It's on YouTube. It's still there. It's called Inappropriate Behavior. Inappropriate Behavior by Dr. Claude Anderson. Please, if you got 1 hour and 54 minutes to spare, please do yourself a favor, do your family a favor. Watch that video. And if you want some more, he has another one called Exceptional people. Exceptional. Exceptional. CEPTIONAL. Yeah. Exceptional people. Because sometimes we act like we don't have it all in this country. It wouldn't be so bad if we start acting black again. But after 1965, like something happened, like our blackness or our culture, our sense of protecting ourselves just oozed out of our ears. Damn. But anyway, I digress. Y'all be cool. It's your man, Rico the Opinionist. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace, y'all. Bye.